Hello, my name is Dawn Skaggs. I'm the Emergency, Disaster, and Climate Resilience Specialist for the Disaster Division at WID. Did you know that 1 in 4 to 5 people have a disability, and yet people with disabilities are 2 to 4 times more likely to be injured or die in a disaster? WID is actively engaged in changing these statistics. The work that WID is doing in the disaster arena can literally be the difference in saving the lives and property of people with disabilities. WID is collaborating with global entities such as the United Nations, governments, local entities and agencies, businesses, NGOs, and individual stakeholders to bring the needs and the assets of people with disabilities to the forefront of disaster action. In our climate, after years of enduring COVID-19 global pandemic, everyone has heard of emergency preparedness and response. WID has stepped out and is leading the way in the effort to stop the systemic exclusion of people with disabilities and the resulting disproportionate impact on the disability community. We're providing training and technical assistance to public and private partners to create inclusive home, community, and employment spaces that have emergency preparedness plans in place and will provide people with disabilities disaster, health, and climate justice. WID has convened a global alliance of disability-led organizations and socially responsible corporations and foundations to accelerate resources to disability-led organizations in the throes of a disaster, ensuring that people with disabilities have the resources and representation needed for an equitable disaster experience. Whether through assisting businesses and governments with much needed disability inclusive plans, teaching leaders how to protect and partner with disabilities in a disaster, creating programs for disaster health equity, climate justice, and universal inclusion, accelerating resources to people in the throes of disaster, or working to protect people with disabilities from public health pandemics. WID is saving and changing lives. We're looking for community members who want to be difference makers, to be a part of the solution, and to invest in people. Donating to WID will help us continue this work to overcome barriers for people with disabilities and to create resilient communities. Thank you in advance for becoming part of our community through donating to WID today.
Support WID today by visiting www.wid.org/donate.